Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I am super excited today because we will be discussing print and well-being, which have got to be two of my favorite subjects. I am Kerivel Brown. I'm the Global Marketing Director for Duplo International. And with me today, we have Sandy Power from Catalyst Support. There is something extremely powerful when we're able to put on paper what goes on through our mind, our to-do list, our note, doodle when we're attending a meeting. And that's what we want to explore today, is how print can have a huge impact and fuel well-being. So Sandy, can you talk to us a bit more about who you are and actually what you do with Catalyst Support?
Yeah, sure. I'm a group worker with Catalyst Support. That means that I look after groups of people who are struggling with their mental health. They come along to the groups and we entertain them, really. At the same time as obviously looking after them, taking aside some individuals to talk about help that they may need, services they may need. But mainly it's to take them out of their difficulties for a couple of hours a week, where we can make them feel much better about the struggles they're going through.
And that's the thing. There's something very powerful to kind of being able to take a moment to focus on what's in front of you, that piece of paper, the pen that you're using. It cuts down the noise. It allows to bring a bit of clarity in a world that can sometimes be chaotic.
Yeah, exactly.
And in an environment that can be stressful, whether it's a home environment or work environment, sometimes there's not necessarily freedom to open up and talk about it. So the workshop that you have in place creates that space?
Yeah, well, we do quite a few things. We do a quiz, we do bingo, and the art side of it has always been there. But the projects that we've set for them, like building something or creating something out of a toilet roll, for example, haven't always been popular with everybody. I introduced doodling to the groups earlier this year because I just thought that we should give everybody a chance to start with nothing and see what happens. And I said that, you're not an artist, I understand that, but you will create something that is unique to you. And at the same time, it's actually really freeing. So they tried it, absolutely loved it. Now we're doing it every week, and we're going to have an exhibition, which is really exciting. So it's really taken off.
And if I look at the environment in which Duplo International operates, which is the print industry, which can be very male-dominated, and where sometimes opening up about stress or pressure is not something that comes up naturally. It is more something that still remains quite hidden. And yet everyone has the ability to grab a piece of paper and for a moment just isolate themselves and then try to express what is going on through their mind.
That's what I think. I think men in business have a lot of stresses that they find very difficult to communicate, financial, marital, family, lots of things. Yeah, and work, obviously work. It's very important because they spend more hours at work than at home a lot of the time. So, if there's some way that they can release that tension, I think paper is definitely a very good route. And writing down words that express their anger and their frustrations, perhaps drawing pictorial versions of that. So if you're worried about someone seeing it and slamming their book closed, then that's your private space, to express yourself. You can open it when you feel like it and close it and pop it in your work bag. And it's just a really, really nice way to express yourself.
And for us, it's very important. So we believe within Duplo International that our biggest asset or greatest assets are actually our people, and making sure that we provide an environment that allows them to be the best version of who they are and actually keep on evolving is really key to us. And obviously in today's world where suddenly the pressure is everywhere and things might feel a little bit challenging, ensuring that not only do they have the right tool in terms of, yes, they have the computer and everything, but making sure that they are in the right place emotionally and mentally kind of, makes a big difference. So for us, looking after the well-being of our staff is critical. And it's a message that we want to echo across every customer of ours is to understand that it's who we are. We care about the world, we care about, about you, but we also want to make sure that we try to share the importance of well-being and mental health across our industry. I guess there's something very soothing in taking a kind of piece of paper or card or anything and just remove the noise, remove the clutter. It's just you, a pen, a piece of paper, and then you create your own world. You express your own emotions. It's a way to kind of express maybe what's going on in your mind and just breathe.
The atmosphere in the room is really calm as people just focus on what they're doing. It really helps to clear their heads, and they don't realize that it's helping them so much. There are some people who may arrive very stressed out and really angry about some things just happen. They write down the words that they're feeling and they draw a picture of it maybe, and they leave with a big smile on their face because they've kind of cleared their minds and clear heads of all the troubles.
And even, I guess, for me, if I take it outside a kind of group environment, but in an everyday environment, in the print industry, which is the world in which Duplo International belong, it can be very stressful. It's tight deadlines, a lot of jobs that need to be done, and it's a high demand environment. It might be that sometimes the stress gets too much, or life sometimes just feels like it's just too much. And finding peace or trying to reestablish some order and just regain control might just be as simple as don't grab your phone and check what's on YouTube or read the news, but instead just grab
a piece of paper and a pencil, pen, biro, it doesn't really matter what it is, and just see what comes out. Just write down words that help you express your feelings at that moment, and draw a picture maybe.
And it's something that anyone can do anywhere. You grab 5 minutes, you take your lunch break, or you just can literally grab 5 minutes and just find a chair, a piece of paper, a pen, and just kind of, either write down if there's something that is upsetting you and you just need to kind of get it out, or or if you're in a difficult conversation or meeting, or you're feeling slightly stressed, maybe doodling or
I think it's lovely to, if you get to a stationery shop and you really like a book that you think would be useful to have just for you, that you could open and scribble notes down and maybe do drawings and doodles and things like that, and you can shut that book and that's yours. That's your private space.
You mentioned stationery book. I could spend hours in a stationery shop or a bookshop. Those are two things. It's just like, absolutely just let me know where the nearest one. And you can really customize your own world. You can actually create something that is yours, your private space to kind of write down or draw or doodle or whatever it is. I mean, I often actually start my day with the 3 things that I need to do, and I have to write it down. This is not something I can do on my phone. The fact that I'm writing it down allows me to start to structure already how I'm going to deal with it and start to kind of, remove the clutter and actually focus on what needs to be achieved. So there's something extremely powerful about that.
Yeah, and I think in meetings people doodle and it's frowned upon, but actually it really helps you to clear your head. It's known to be a support in a meeting situation, for concentrating, for focusing. Your hand isn't really controlling what's going on in your brain. Your brain's listening to the meeting, but you're just, it's a sort of a support for you. It's actually really good. I think it should be encouraged.
Yeah, and there's actually, to support this, there's also a huge amount of work that has been done around neuroscience and the impact of print and the emotions that is associated with it. Hence why, when we look at a lot of printed goods, packaging, all the embellishment that is added, it's also to enhance that emotion. It just makes you really interact with the paper or the printed item.
It's a really nice opportunity for them to clear their heads, and it's the same for everybody. If they can find some time and space to do that, so beneficial. It really is.
And you can do it anytime, anywhere. And
anywhere.
All you need is
you
just
can write down all the things that you need to do. You can write down the way you feel. You can doodle pictures of things that you want to create. And if some of them are designers, for example, it's an opportunity to perhaps do some drawings and sketches of ideas. So you can use that journal or doodle book or whatever it may be for whatever you want.
What is the one thing that you're like, if someone takes away something from today's conversation, what should it be?
A blank sheet of paper. That's what it is.
It really is what it is. Grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, 5 minutes.
Give it a go.
Give it a go. It doesn't really matter. It's not about creating a masterpiece. It's not about, writing the next novel. It is not about the next
self-expression, and it's really good for your brain.
It is for you.
Really good.
It's just that moment of peace and quiet. That's your space. No one else.
So good.
Just to help you find peace in today's kind of demanding and at times chaotic world. Well, thank you very much for your input, and I hope that it was you learned a few things about how you can handle today's demands and busy life. And thank you very much for your time.